Hey everybody, happy July 4th.
Hey, Independence Day.
4th.
It was the 4th of September. No, never mind.
Day you always remember.
Yes, I will.
Hey, what do you do on July 4th?
Well,
Normally.
Normally? Not
Generally.
Generally and normally, not really a lot. Have some nice food, play with the dogs.
Cherry pie?
Cherry pie. I love cherry pie.
I have something for you.
Cherry pie. Oh, we had breakfast pie today because I came in and Brad was in the kitchen having pie, and he said
it's actually cherry pie.
It's so good.
That? We're just gonna put that there.
Yeah, just gonna leave that there.
Feel free to claw at it.
Oh my God! Wait, there's some stuff laying down that I
just in case you feel like eating a little pie while we're doing it.
Here, let me get that.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So July 4th traditions, no matter what they are for you, I think the big things that the country does, of course, fireworks. Drink, yeah, drinking is big. Although we were Quakers, so it's minimal.
We weren't Quakers.
Yeah. Did you ever know Quakers growing up?
Yes. Can I tell you a very quick story?
Yeah.
When I went to do American Graffiti when I was 12 years old, I got off the plane and I was all alone. And they said, "Wait, where's your guardian?" And I said, "Guardian? I don't know. My mom just put me on a plane." So I don't remember any of this. It was told to me many years later. But turns out that they had to scramble to get.
And they found a nice Quaker lady?
They found it. Gary Kurtz and his wife and family, the executive producers of American Graffiti, Quakers. I lived with them the whole time. The mom wore a bonnet, and we'd hold hands and sing songs about friends at dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're the loveliest people. So that's my.
Well,
Quaker
of course,
story.
I had an odd Quaker life because my mom had an eating disorder and she was a closet Jew. So there was that.
Wow, that's like sounds like a soap
It was
opera.
a little odd.
Yeah.
It was sort of Quaker askew or Quaker adjacent.
Quaker adjacent.
Yeah.
Quadjacent. Yeah.
Hey, so here's a question about July 4th, though. Did you guys, as a kid, would they say, "Hey, here, have some beer"?
Yes, absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
"Here, have a joint" or something?
Yeah, I mean, by the time, yeah, of course. I mean, not of course. I mean, not everybody, of course. For my family, of course. By the time I was 12 or 13, I was smoking weed and doing drugs with my father and his wives, whoever they happened to be at the time. I mean, so yeah, it was definitely more loosey goosey for sure.
Our big thing was we would get fireworks in Idaho. We would, I suppose, sneak them back across the border. I mean, there was no one. It was a state border, so there was nobody really checking, but that was exciting. We would buy,
Fireworks.
and then so we would get the safety talk. Make sure you don't blow your brother's fingers up.
Right.
And
Did you ever?
we had some near misses, but
Yeah.
we never. We were very peaceful kids, as Quakers often are.
As the Quakers are definitely.
No, I mean
a
we
peaceful
didn't
bunch.
torture animals or anything. I mean we were generally sweet.
We didn't either. We didn't
people.
torture animals, ever.
Not suggesting that. Anyway, happy July 4th. Hey, when does One Day at a Time start airing again?
The Netflix version of One Day at a Time. I'm not sure when the season drops, but
Congratulations for being back for season 2.
Thank
That's pretty
you.
Cool.
I'm playing Pam the therapist in 2
So
episodes
fabulous.
this season, which is really cool.
Excuse me, Pam. I'm having a crisis.
I get to work with Rita Moreno, and I get to be with Justina Machado and Norman Lear. I mean, thank you, Brad, for allowing me the space to go and do these things while I'm working at Breathe.
How great is that, right? I just read this article in the New York Times, too, about Rob Reiner and Norman Lear, and they're talking about working into their 90s, which is sort
Carl
of cool.
Reiner, the dad.
Oh, what did I
Carl
say?
Reiner, Rob.
Oh,
That's
Rob
the
Reiner.
son. But
Carl Reiner, yes.
Yeah.
He's like 90-something.
You should see. One night I was with Norman, and it was Carl Reiner, Mel Brooks, and Norman Lear just hanging out together. Wow. And you're like, is this really happening? All 3 of them standing there together, being who they are. It was very cool.
They spoke at a... Who wrote Tootsie?
I don't know.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember the movie Tootsie. I don't know who wrote it, though.
I should
Google
remember this.
that.
Hey, Brandon, will you Google who wrote the movie Tootsie? Sure. So the guy who wrote Tootsie, Scott, my husband, optioned it from him. Mm-hmm. For years and years and years, he was trying to, put it together as a musical. They just did it for their first workshop in New York, and they raised all their money. It was really good. But this fella, he's so funny. Oh, Larry Gelbart. Is that right? Yes. So we saw him, and then like the next Monday he passed away. He had cancer, and he was sick, but he was working. He was in his 90s. How old was he, Brandon, when he passed away?
81.
81. He's the funniest guy ever. He was so funny, and but you know who Scott produced his memorial, and Rob came, and Sid Caesar came.
Oh my gosh, is Sid Caesar?
Yeah, Sid spoke, and Sid got stuck when he was talking, and Mel Brooks said something like shouted out from the audience, and it got Sid going again.
That's what Mel does, because I was at a screening of Norman Lear's documentary, Just Another Version of You, and we were watching it, and Mel was in the audience, and he was yelling and screaming and jumping up. And
He's so funny.
So funny. If you want to see Mel Brooks, go to Santa Anita Racetrack. He's pretty much there. He used to be there with Dick Van Patten every Sunday, betting on the ponies. They're betting on the ponies. So you can see Mel Brooks there on any given day.
So you're doing Battle of the Network Stars too, that's on television now. You can watch it on the ABC app.
I'm
Right?
doing Battle of the Network Stars.
Oh, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
You did.
Oh, where was it shot?
It was shot at Pepperdine. It was the same place that we shot the original Battle of the Network Stars 5,000 years ago when I was a teenager.
I loved it as a kid.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I was on the team with Jimmy Walker and Jonathan Lipnicki from Jerry Maguire.
Jonathan Lipnicki.
He's a gorgeous young man
He
now.
is?
Yes. Jeremy Miller from Growing Pains.
To look that guy up.
I ran a relay race. I swam. I did archery. I archerized. It was really fun.
Did you know how to do that?
Yes, because I did archery in rehab once.
Huh.
We had archery.
It's curious that they would let you have a weapon
It's true.
in rehab. Where was that?
I'm not going to say. I'll say it off the air.
It's a judgment-free zone here on Mack Me, right?
That's right.
If we can't speak the truth, Mac, who are we as people?
That's right. So here's the deal. You guys have the opportunity. We're going to be here every Tuesday morning at 11 Pacific time. You have the opportunity to send in questions to either Mackenzie Phillips, my fan page on Facebook, or Breathe Life Healing Centers, or Brad Lamb's Facebook page, and we can answer.
And we'll do our best to answer you.
Yeah.
Relationship, recovery.
Relationship recovery. What happens.
Rehab stories.
Rehab stories. We'll tell you some good ones as time goes on, because we get to know you better. Right now, I'm just getting to know you, so I don't know if I can tell you, Brad.
I don't know if I can open up.
Brad can tell you anything.
Hey, here's another thing. We mentioned it last week. We've had a response already to Bigger Than the Book, but it's this. At Breathe Life Healing Center, at our campus, we have lots of shelf space. And so over the years, we built a nice library, but there's still lots of... When these houses were built, they had some books.
And
they must have had
they're
some
built-ins.
books.
They're built-in shelving.
Yeah. So we have this idea called Bigger Than the Book. So if you have a book that's special to you, recovery related, or just it inspired you in some meaningful way, grab the book. I mean, if you're willing to donate it to us, grab the book, open it up, write a little note to whom it may concern, and then send it to us. The address will be on our Facebook page, okay? Bigger Than the Book.
Bigger Than the Book.
One or two. Don't send us a whole box.
No, it would be nice. I know that there's a lot of stress in rehab, so it's nice to have something good to read.
Did you take a book to rehab?
I took many books to rehab, and I would have people send. I've been to rehab so many times, that I've read a whole bunch of books while in treatment. I remember one time I was in treatment, I was so interested in knitting. All I did was knit.
I did take a Bible.
Wow.
Which is interesting. Okay, so you
So
knitted?
I was knitting like a crazy person, and someone came up to me and said, "Oh, so you think you're going to knit all your problems away?" And I just kept knitting.
Just remember,
knitting.
Mac, we're not saying the F word.
Oh yeah, no F word allowed. But I really want to say it.
So they said, oh!
Oh, F. That thing just fell down.
Hey Mac, keep talking.
Okay. So you guys, Brad is a really funny person, and he's trying to put this thing back on right now. I'm actually sort of narrating what's happening. I'm not really talking to you.
We're back.
He's back.
Hey,
Thank
did
God,
you know
I felt I didn't know what to do.
I understand. So, here's a question I have to all of our friends in the treatment world. How are you addressing the issues of introducing the notion of PrEP for your gay men or men who have sex with men in treatment? And also, how are you talking to your female clients or patients as they come in or while they're in treatment about family planning? Really, i.e., an implant, pregnancy implant.
A pregnancy.
I mean, not
a birth control.
A birth control implant.
Yeah, like a normal.
Because it'll last for 5 to 8 years.
Yeah, and then, I think it's actually something we're really interested in what you guys are doing in your treatment centers, because I know that we're proponents of prevention.
Well, in the UK, a study just came out. It's the first time in 30 years, Mac. I just read this a couple days ago, that the rates of new HIV infections has dropped the first time in 30 years, and they're chalking it up just to PrEP.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a 1-a-day pill. You take it for 5 weeks, and it basically makes you unable to contract the virus if you're still taking some precautions. But pretty powerful.
That's
right?
pretty powerful.
So we'd love to hear what we're all doing to help our clients and patients do better and get better.
And if you have questions about recovery or what it's like or anything like that, please send them to us and we'll try and answer them.
Mac, this is our second Mac and Me. How
Yes.
do you think it went?
I think it went really well. I really like that you told that story, and I really like that the microphone fell down.
Nice.
It's good.
It's life's unexpected moments, those U-turns that we take that make us who we are. See you next week live, next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.